It all started with a music box. It was a simple one, wooden, painted with colorful swirls and patterns on the sides. It was given as a special gift to a young girl on her 6th birthday. She'd woken up with it at the end of her bed. She had instantly questioned her parents with a giddy excitement, only to get coy smiles and cryptic responses. And so it went. Every day, the girl woke up and wound up the box, humming along to the song, then giggled with delight at the little clown or jack-in-the-box when it sprang up from its makeshift cage. The clown itself was simple too. A small, thin paper spring decorated with rainbow polka dots held the upper half of the clown. A long, pointed hat that was also polka-dotted with a small tuft of white fluff sat perched on the top of a swaying tanned face that always held a large, cheesy smile and squinting, bright blue eyes. Cartoon hands bobbed around the clown's face. Small tufts of the white fluff stuck to the fabric from the white lining that circled the edge of the long-sleeved, bright yellow shirt the clown wore. Now, he sounded normal, like any run-of-the-mill jack-in-the-box. But he was far from normal. You see, he talked. But it wasn't any cliché things like hello or how are you, with no responses. No, he held full conversations. He knew the girl's name, her older brother's name, and her parents' names. He remembered things the girl told him and brought them up later on, like asking how she was doing after her brother went away for school, or if she still liked her favorite TV show or animal. Neither of the girl's parents had ever told her their names, so it came as quite a shock when she called them Anne and Dave instead of her usual Mommy and Daddy. When they asked her where she'd learned their names from, she told them the truth. She said her music doll had told her. Of course, the idea was absurd to her parents. They laughed it off with a simple, "Of course he did, honey," and simply assumed that she'd heard one of their friends call them by their names, or had heard her parents use their names on each other. That night, the girl wound up her box, humming cheerfully along, and spoke to her little friend.
"Hello,"
she cheered in her little 6-year-old voice, grinning from ear to ear.
"Why did you tell your Mommy and Daddy about me, Darcy?"
the box asked, sounding angry with the innocent child. Instantly, the girl's eyes filled with tears, and she sniffled, her beautiful cerulean eyes glossing over.
I thought it would be okay,"
she cried, a tear running down her cheek.
"Well, it wasn't,"
the box screeched.
"I thought I told you never to tell anyone about this."
"Mommy and Daddy didn't believe me,"
she assured the box, no longer crying, but her eyes and nose were a rosy pink, and her eyes still looked glossy.
"Whether they believed you or not doesn't matter. You broke the rules, and therefore you must be punished. Your Mum and Dad are leaving for a few days. They're hiring a personal nanny to watch over you. They're leaving in 2 days. But Darcy, I suggest you show them lots of love over these next 2 days, because when they leave, they're never coming back."
While the girl's young brains struggled to make sense of what the box had said, the clown sank back into it, the lid clicking shut above him. The girl took a moment longer, then seemed to figure it out, and gasped, picking up her box and rushing down the stairs, hustling into her parents' bedroom, where they lay on their bed, half asleep and watching a movie. At the sound of their daughter's panicked footsteps, they both shot out of bed and ran to their hyperventilating and sobbing daughter. The girl blubbered out an explanation, but seemed to be crying too hard to do much. Her mother soothed her until she could talk. Then the young girl sniffled and repeated herself, repeating the clown's words, holding up her colorful music box as an explanation, and her parents exchanged looks. They both knew that there was no way at all that the girl could know about their travel plans or the personal nanny. Each time they'd talked about it, she was gone, either out with her brother or at school. Much to the young girl's delight, the family burned the box the next evening. Regardless, though, of what had happened, the parents went on their trip, leaving a nanny to watch over the girl until they got back. As the days stretched into weeks, there was still no word from her parents, until one day her brother, who had come to replace the busy nanny, was watching the news. The girl was in the next room, playing with her dolls, and was drawn into the living room by her elder brother's gasp. She rushed in, catching the tail end of a sentence from a lady on the news. "Missing parents of Darcy and Noah Jacobson." Next to the lady was a picture of her parents, the jack-in-the-box open and sitting between them, smiling its sinister, cruel smile. Now, you may be asking yourself, how do they know all of this? Well, the truth is, I am Darcy Jacobson. Well, Darcy Harold now. As I stare at this cursed box that the police had returned to me, I think about my parents. I've tried everything to get rid of the box. I burned it, tossed it out at sea. I threw it away even, but it always reappeared. My parents' murderer wouldn't leave me alone. I sit here and stare hopelessly at the box, just wanting rid of it. I want it gone. Finally, I sigh and slowly wind up the box, humming along to the song, flinching as my old friend pops up, looking exactly the same. The same sinister grin, the same piece of fluff on his hand, the same vibrant colors that haunted my dreams from the night I saw my parents on the news 20 years ago. I stare at the clown, speechless and simply watching it bob to and fro until the movements slow to a stop. And he speaks.
"Hello, Darcy.